Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of the 3.3.5 progressive server Primal Wow, which is a part of the TrueWoW network. So to start things off, the server is progressive, which means that it's based on the Wrath of the Lich King client and it works through the expansions as they are released, unlocking different content and expansions as it gets cleared. The server is currently in vanilla with all raids cleared including Naxx and is progressing onto the Burning Crusade on June the 7th, so this is a perfect time to try it out before they release the new Burning Crusade content. So I mentioned previously that Primal WoW runs on the Wrath of the Lich King client. This means that talent, spells, quests, XP rates, professions and gear is all based around what was on the 3.3.5 client. This means there are some major differences from vanilla and the Burning Crusade, and so is not a Blizzlike realm. For example, seals from paladins, which in vanilla are 30 seconds long, now last 30 minutes and they're not consumed on the use of a judgment. Changes have been made in the game to make it as close to Blizzlike as possible, but I'll get onto that later. The server does have a shop and they do accept donations, but it's only for cosmetics and for account features. So like I said, all TBC and Wrath of the Lich King content is locked until the Burning Crusade launch in June. This means that there are no Draenei, no Blood Elves or Deathknights running around stealing your loot, and you can't access Outland or the Frozen North. The level cap is level 60 and everything else including professions and weapon skills are all capped at level 300. Talent trees are limited as well, and they are limited to the 31st ability, so you can see all the other abilities, but you can only take the final talent from the vanilla trees, so resto druids can only take swiftmend from their 7th tier, for example. Having Naxx open on a server is quite rare, because most vanilla servers don't really get around to having Naxx 40 open, so it's quite rare for servers to have this, and these are raided very frequently, including a Naxx clear followed by some AQ by the guild which I was a part of, Murmur, after the video which you see was filmed. My favourite thing about the fact that it's on a 3.3.5 client instead of vanilla is the fact that many classes are now viable. For example, bear druids can tank, paladins can DPS, and shadow priests are still crap, as I learnt the hard way, being innovated after every pull. But nonetheless, the fact that people can play the spec they love in endgame progression is a huge deal to me, and in my opinion a massive factor in why I'd play here. No, it's not Blizzlike, that would be impossible on a 3.3.5 client, but the mechanics are all there, the tactics are all there, and the difficulty is there. The server has made changes to make it an engaging and fun experience by increasing the health pools of mobs in raids and lowering the power of players. It has been tuned so the challenge is still there, because even on vanilla servers, people are clearing bosses within days of launch. Just look at the new Elysium servers. Players were killing the bosses in greens. This doesn't happen on this server, as I've been told by other players. Other things such as leveling are easier, however. Things such as the dungeon finder are active and used regularly, providing instant transport to dungeons and free rewards for those who queued up. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the random dungeon finder and think it should be implemented without the teleport function, as it is just far too convenient to get ported to wherever you have to go, especially if you want that rustic vanilla experience. But it did help me grouping up with players and it allowed me to do the dungeon run which you see on the screen. So it has its pros, it has its cons, and for a small server like this it's acceptable. But if the server was to grow a bit more, I'd expect them to remove the teleport function. Other things such as quest items yielding more stats and the increased EXP rates mean leveling is a much friendlier experience. Now you can kind of read that how you like. I think it is a nice touch, as grinding mobs for hours to get EXP to go to the next zone isn't for me. But others may enjoy the more rustic feel of vanilla, and that's fine. It is a minor point in the grand scheme of things, because you will still be doing the same quests in the same zones, killing the same mobs that you would be on any other client. In terms of PvP, all the vanilla battlegrounds are open minus Alterac Valley, and arenas are also available, so that's a bit of added content which you wouldn't get on a vanilla server. Some PvP gear is gated behind arena ratings, but most of it is reduced in price due to the fact that Naxx is open, so if you feel like PvPing and want to get in quickly, then Primal is the place for you. In terms of bugs, there were very few which I encountered on my time there. During the Strath run that I did, there were some of the crates which you get holy water from which were not able to be clicked on, which is a very minor thing. I've heard reports of a few others, but generally due to the stability of the 3.3.5 client, many of the bugs have already been flattened out. Some of the quests don't work and they have an autocomplete function, and you can see a whole list of those on their website. But it is worth noting that most of the quests which they do have on there which need to be auto-completed are from the Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King, so they have plenty of time to get those working as intended before that's released. So Primal WoW recently allowed for one-to-one transfers from other servers and from retail, which means that if you have a high level character on retail, it is level 100 now, you can take screenshots of your account and send those to TrueWoW, and if it's accepted then they'll give you a baseline level 60 in some PvP blues and 500 gold, and most of that gold is spent on ranking up your spells and learning riding. You can also transfer your characters from other vanilla servers. You have to allow the staff to log into your account on that server so they can gather the information of that character to copy it for you. Now that does sound pretty dodgy, but I've heard zero bad things about this server, and the fact that they have thousands of requests put through means that it's pretty legit. I did have some problems with my own transfer due to the fact that I wasn't really reading their transfer policy correctly, but the staff was super helpful and they got that sorted for me. In terms of interacting with players, most of my interactions have been good experiences, but obviously with every server there are a few goons. Due to the lower population, it seems quite tight-knit, and it was a very positive experience grouping up and doing dungeons with people. It is cross-faction due to the lower population, which is fine as a compromise to the problem. The small population is the main downfall for this server, and can only be overcome by people trying out the server for themselves and having the experience firsthand. So in conclusion, Primal WoW is a great way to experience a different version of vanilla content, with the added bonus of being able to progress onto later expansions when the time comes. The TrueWoW team have been around since 2010 and have incorporated lots of different servers on the way, so they have lots of experience in terms of server development. One major plus for this server is the fact that they have a stable and open version of Naxx, which is being cleared, and this is unheard of on reputable vanilla servers. So despite it not being an authentic vanilla experience, which is something impossible to emulate by the way, it is a major bonus for the server. As I mentioned before, the lower population holds the server back, and although everyone on the server is very happy and enjoying their stay, the server would be even better if it was more populous. So that's all from me guys. I really recommend checking out the server. All the relevant links are in the description, so go on and sign up and have a look for yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.